Right. So welcome to the I Am Show. Ibrahim Mustapha is the name, and I believe in you and I believe in the power of your dreams. So today, like I always promised, we are having one of the best. He's a global speaker, and you hear from him and you get to know more about what he's into. So we have ADV Shabas, and he's a
Hi,
great person, and I am glad to have you in my studios today. So welcome, bro. And maybe you can introduce yourself and let's kick start.
thank you so much for the invite. And it's a proud feeling to be in Ibrahim Mustapha show. And this is my first podcast in Intercontinental Africa. And being a person from India, I'm totally excited about how this is going to be. So, a quick introduction about myself. I'm actually Advocate Shabas. ADVC is just like a small abbreviation. And
Right.
I'm a public speaker, advocate, someone who has failed a lot, and someone who's going to fail a lot, but still will stand up. My journey has been a roller coaster one, past 5 years, but that's what made me good. And the journey of public speaking is what really I am. It's all about. So never
Great.
give up, like you said. You believe in yourself. That's what brought me to this show. And thank you so much, Ibrahim, for the invite. It really makes me
Wow.
laugh.
Great. I've read a bit of your story and I've quite followed it. And the one that was published on the TEDx Destin, and where you talked about who you are, you're an educator, you're a teacher, a lawyer, life mentor, writer, and the list goes on. So and that's quite an achievement, being a lawyer and creating opportunities about that. Can you tell us a bit about how you've been able to transition from some of the setbacks in life and graduating through to the law school?
Well, to be very frank, even I said this in the Mark's interview as well, that I'm very fortunate to be an advocate as of now because I never dreamed that I would even advocate when I was in the fourth year. The college goes like 5 years in India, so the fourth year I thought I would drop out. I should leave the last college that I was studying. I actually studied in four colleges. So the first one was in engineering, then I went for law, dropped, then I went for law, dropped, then I got transfer. So it happens not easy to stand what you were thinking 2 years or 3 years back, and then again getting back to that track and finishing it. So
Right.
this is how it went. Uh, I went for certain colleges which didn't suit me. With the teaching methods didn't suit me. The way of this management didn't suit me. So even I didn't suit to them. So maybe, and I had to give that up and give that up, give that up, and finally, I finished it. But what do you say? See, what education teaches you, it's not about it's about books more than what you train yourself and understand what is a profession, understand what you're graduating for, why you're graduating for. These questions and those answers came up me when I was in the final years, because that moment I take it very serious. Maybe I think I should finish this, and I even dropped the job because of some issues. But when I was having a job at the point of time, I felt secure that I should leave this graduation part because I was already having a safe financial head. But that's what life teaches you. You have to give up something to get. And finally, I feel worth that I gave those moments to be here.
Great. Wow, that's wonderful. And I followed your story on the clubhouse and different places, and I like your determination. And there are people who may be listening to this, and later I will be on this different platforms. So if I want to become a public speaker like you, you're a global speaker, and in India where the competition is tough. So what are some of the things that you tell me or that person who is listening to become a global speaker?
Well, in India, everything is a huge competition because a lot of people, and I'm not just such a great speaker or influential speaker to get a lot of people, but I know really what the basics of public speaking is all about, and that's what kept me in the journey. So the journey started when I was 5 and 6. I was thrown off the stage because I couldn't handle the microphone. Later, when I was 14, 15, I did small MCs like Master of Ceremonies. When I was about 16, I spoke before a crowd of 10,000 plus. So that's where I gained confidence that I can go for big crowd, for big public speaking stages. And from there on, later advocacy came, a lot of presentations came, seminars, international presentations. That's how I grew up as a public speaker. So when you talk about how to be a public speaker, the first is conversation. More than getting to be a public speaker, it's very important that you have to do your basics of talking to one interactions.
Great,
From there, you believe that you want to talk content, you give that content. You get the information, you talk to them. This is the first part of public speaking, which eventually rises you to be a public speaker.
great,
At the first stage, there is no such thing like I'm a public speaker, I'm straight away going to that. No, it's a process. Go through it, you will find yourself, mature yourself, and slowly you will become a public speaker.
great, great. That's wonderful. So, what are some of the challenges that perhaps you faced? And it's quite devastating to get yourself thrown out of stage. And so, what are some of the stages that some of the challenges that young speakers will face in this growing industry? I.e., the opportunities that are there, but still there are challenges. What are some of them?
Well, first challenge that I would sort is about overthinking yourself that should I go for the event which I get the payment, or should I go for the event which gets me the opportunity and more opportunities? If you're going for the second, it shows that you're very determined. See, I almost did a lot of public speaking just for free, just to get opportunity, just to get the microphone and do public speaking,
Right,
which eventually got me opportunities later. Like I'm doing now, it's just because I want to speak. So that is the first challenge you have to take up yourself. Why do you want to speak? And what is the result that you're seeking? Is that for money? Is that for passion? Yes, for passion later, it will become for money. That's a longer part. But initially, that is the first challenge. That shows your consistency. The second challenge that I would put to you is how do you use this opportunity and the part of preparation? I would say the youngsters are not, are maybe they're over prepared or they may be over excited or they're not least prepared. You should be in the stage where you have to be capable of handling the crowd and the situations, as well as the executing the plans that you were going through the preparation part.
right,
So that is the best second challenge that you can take forward with saying the smile. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Let's go forward with the next question, and you get the show done. That's what your
yeah,
clients and everyone wants, right? The interaction part, and you become a public speaker and also a communicator. So that is the
great,
second most challenge, that you become a communicator with a public speaker. So youngsters should take up that aspect more than being like I'm a part of the crowd. I'm one among the crowd.
great,
That will give you more results. So that is that's maybe the third challenge I would say: become a part of the crowd.
great. Wow. So we're talking to ADV Shabas. He's an educator and as a teacher. He's a lawyer, life mentor, writer, and also a motivational speaker based in India. He's made a lot of strides and he is also another advocate. So if you are listening and you have some questions for him, yes, even though this is not supposed to be open for questions, but you can put in the questions, then he will get to address them. And we believe that this will help you transition. This will help you, help inspire you, give you hope, let you know that you are not alone. We are doing all we can to give you the best. So, ADV Shabash, the floor is yours. Maybe if you have something to say before, maybe something's just coming into your mind. Just like I told you, this is a free show. If something's coming to your mind that you can help people who are now going through dropouts, people who've been dropped out of school, people who've been dropped out of life, and they feel like rejected. What is it that you want to tell them?
Well, first of all, I feel now I'm capable of telling that our dropouts can give you a lot of positive things as well. Uh, that fear, you have to get out of that fear. Okay, I should go for this. Maybe I'm not good at this. When say I would say, let's imagine I become an engineer. I want to be the best engineer in the world because I'm not so much good in that. I understand that. But that moment you pick, you believe in it, make a shot.
Great,
So making a shot is very important for those people, and just believe in yourself and make a shot.
great,
And there are a lot of ways to test that if you're right or wrong to enough to make the shot. So go through that
great.
process and understand. Yes, this is the moment I'm going to take it.
Wow, wow. So we just have a question you can see on the screen that how
Yes.
does one overcome love, that self-esteem? And this is from Zuleha Haruna, one of the determined ladies in Ghana. She's very great in terms of like pushing. she's persistent, and she's hardworking. And so her question is, how does one overcome low self-esteem? So maybe if you can take
Well,
that.
Zulaya, an awesome question, I would say. Well, it's about what is the motivation for you to keep yourself. It's just about the name and the fame and making yourself that, yes, self-esteem is very important. You have to show your personality. Sometimes you have to take decisions. That's for sure. But more often that, it should never go out of the park or limit in which you feel this is a moment that I have to get self-esteem. I should talk for myself. How do you treat me? That's very fine. That you should do it. That shows your personality. But it should not just be you all the time.
Great.
So how to get over it is by understanding that you are one among the crowd, you're one among the group. You also have an empathetic feeling that how would that person feel if I was in that stage?
Great. Wow. Wow. So that's wonderful. That's great. And let's talk about what you are passionate about. Right. You're passionate about public speaking, advocacy, independent research, motivational speaking, mentoring, paid moderatorship at Clubhouse, and a legal mentor. So maybe you can throw some more lights on that, and I will get to move.
Well, uh, the one thing I'm passionate so much about, and I just tell to my mind is as well, is about independent research.
Right.
Uh, I'm going to ask you a question, Ibrahim. Brother, what do you do when you're at college? You just study for that particular course, just particular thing. When 9 to 5, you just particular that particular one. Nothing more than that. You're gone through a book, going through a system, and that system is all what you learn. They teach you the solutions, and they don't teach you the reason or the mindset of the rising problems. So this is the thing which I want to share to these people who's going to watch this. Do independent research of yourself first. Do independent research of every aspect that you want to learn. Don't just depend on books. Don't just depend on formal sources. Go through the YouTube, go through the blogs, talk with the personalities who have done it, and you're going to eventually evolve yourself. And that's what the process I have gone through. Do independent research. Go beyond the boundary of understanding what the solutions can be. That's where entrepreneurship rises up. That's where thinking rises up. So that's what I want to really share to all these youngsters who want to watch this, that spend 20 years quality on that independent research. You're going to be expert on that.
Great. So the next question I want to ask is like, you've done a lot in terms of speaking. You've been on Clubhouse, even though these days we all know don't go there anymore like we used to. But if someone wants to market their brand in terms of speaking, right? They want to market their public speaking, their brand, and all this like digitally. What are some of the things that you advise them to go through or to see?
Well, the first thing, what is the value that you want to add?
Right,
Like, that is the brand of yourself. What is the value that you want to add? And that will give the fame for your name. One aspect, particularly one aspect, that value you can add, be the best at it, and market that.
right, great,
And
great,
eventually, you yourself become a brand of that particular aspect, and some best someday if you're consistent on that.
wonderful, wonderful. So if you have questions to ask, this is the time to ask those questions. And we are live on three platforms. We are live on YouTube. We are live on my page, Mustapha Inspires. We are also live on my profile, Ibrahim Mustapha. So let's do this. Let's go more. Let's believe in ourselves. Let's not give up. Just like our friend Shabas is telling us, let's make sure that we do the best in terms of bringing the best out of ourselves. That people don't know I am good at. Crazy. I'm just going to take a quote from your write up on the TEDx. Say, people don't know I am good at crazy about finding solutions to grassroots problems through independent research. That has given me dimensional wisdom and curiosity. I'm good at independent research and finding what one is good at. I like that. And I think we are so passionate about the independent research that it just comes across all the things you do. So, Shabash,
Yes,
yeah,
but there is a fine reason for this.
right,
That independent research is not something like I want to learn or something. I really want to understand what I'm good at.
right,
And after that, I even researched a lot of things which has nothing to do with my graduation eventually, because this is all about understanding and finding knowledge, getting
Great.
wisdom. So nobody knows that. I think most of the college graduates, they go through a process, they get the certificates, they go to a 9 to job, and they continue this hierarchy of things. The people who go beyond that, think beyond that, do beyond that. Like, you are completely selfless enough to do a lot of service more than public speaking, right? I've seen the photos in Instagram. That shows what kind of personality you are more than what public speaking is all about. So you have to go beyond that reach of what you feel that that is your limit. This is what I'm known for. Why not? You can do a lot of other things as well. But initially, you have to stick to that. So Ibrahim Mustapha, as a public speaker, is also doing a lot of social works. So rise yourself by doing a lot of things after you equip yourself with something. So that's what independent research can give you.
Great. Great. So now I just want you to touch more on some of the services that you provide, so that if someone is listening to you now, the near future, if it's an organization, if it's an international organization, individual, and they want to seek your services in terms of the speaking or whatever service you offer, what will that be?
Well, I can make you a public speaker, and I can mentor you to how to get out of this, all this heartbreaks, dropouts, and all these things which can get you should get rid of in the initial stages, right from 20 to 25, because I think that's the most important time that you're equipping yourself. So I can help you that. And of course, if you're in India, you can call me for advocacy as well. I'm all over it.
Great. So if you're in India, just look for ADV Shabas, and maybe your social handles, then I'll broadcast them. Then we'll
Sure.
move to the next question. What are some of the places they can find you on social media?
Well, the first thing is watch Clubhouse, I would say. Clubhouse is exponential, and I never thought this much growth I will have, and I really had some growth. Uh, so Clubhouse is the first one I would choose. Then you can see me on Instagram. I'm so much not active, but nowadays I'm trying to do my work and podcast everything. So social media handles, I'm not so much good at that nowadays. But yes, Instagram and Clubhouse and mail it is all over there. So you can reach me all through that. And sure, I'm all there for you.
Great. So you've mentioned some of the obstacles, like I've read about some of them. You've mentioned some of the challenges you faced in life when you were growing up, being thrown out of the stage, college, and all those stuff. So, what are some of the things that we can do to overcome those challenges as speakers, as entrepreneurs, as authors, as people who want to independently do whatever we are supposed to do?
Uh, well, the first thing is that attitude, the die-hard attitude. You may be thrown out of stage. Your first business may fail. Uh, Maybe you're not the best, or the person who scores a lot of good marks or ranks in your college. Maybe you feel that I don't have any talent, and I'm not equipped with anything to say of myself. But that attitude of, what, I'm going to do it. You know what, I can be best at this. You know what, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to make myself proud, and the people who love me to feel them proud that they know me. That feel of, what do you say, obsession, strong obsession,
Right.
strong obsession of sticking to something and getting it done every day, making it a disciplined habit.
Great. Great.
And that can give you
Great.
results.
Great, great. We're just listening to ADV Shabas, and he's an educator, a lawyer, life mentor, writer, and a motivational speaker based in India. And he's done a lot of works. You look through some of his bio. I've seen it travel and old motorcycle. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I have some of this, what do you say, antique pieces of Royal Field. I have a 1962 Royal Field as well as a 1994 Royal Field. So that's what old motorcycle and India is all about, traveling all over India through motorcycles. So I've traveled some quite to dead end of India, which is like near to Sri Lanka from India. That's a Ramasetu point. So
Right,
I have traveled to that to my old motorcycle. So that's kind of a story is what old motorcycle and me is all about, and pretty much on traveling at that point of time. But after now, COVID, it's been a sharp edge on traveling.
great, great. So Shabas, and just give us absolute motivation. If someone is listening, just lift the person up now. And we have time, like 5 minutes to wrap up this. But I just believe in you, and I believe that yes, your words are powerful in the minds of our audience. Whatever you say is very important. So maybe if you have something to say, someone is listening, someone is losing hope, someone is going through tough times through this COVID period, the person knows not what to do again. What are the words that you have
Well,
for our audience?
okay, this is from my heart, right from my heart. I would say there would be a lot of people in your life who would not accept you, who would not believe in you, who would not support you at the times you needed them, who would leave you, who would have promised that we will be there for you all the time, but may not be. And this all things can happen. This happened to me as well. It can happen to anybody. But this is a part of the process. This is a part of the piece that you're fixing in. So accept the fact that whatever you do will get back to you. Whatever you give to the universe will get back to you. And that firm belief and discipline on and dedication on consistency on something will give you results. I always believe in that. So
Great,
what I'm going to give you is a tip that can help you. I want you to write down the things that you want to do tomorrow. Just write down the things that you want to do tomorrow before you sleep. Just a moment before you sleep. Don't plan your day when you wake up.
great,
Plan your day when you're going to sleep, and when you wake up, just look at the list and you just make that sure that you have gone through it and you passed it over.
great,
This habit will give you results and consistency and making yourself that you're in the mark of going forward.
great,
So that is one tip which I have been using for a long time, and that's been giving you results. So I would say just try it and get me some comments after this.
great, great, great. Thank you very much, Shabas. I think we'll have to do this again one at a time.
Sure.
And this is just like free flow, letting people know that this is Shabazz, he's an international speaker, and he's also a lawyer. So whatever you see can be used against you in the law court. Right. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. And I think
Thank you
we'll
so much.
do this in different models. We'll take it to Instagram. We have to do this again and again and again until the world hears about
It's a pleasure for me from and love from Africa. Thank you so much,
that.
and thank you, brother Ibrahim, for this invite and for this time and value. And
Right.
thank you so much. It's a brotherly feeling, and it's a proud feeling for me. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much. So we'll talk on Instagram, and I believe in you. Let's keep connected. And we just heard from our only brother, ADV Shabazz from India. Is an educator, is a lawyer, life mentor, writer, and a motivational speaker. So thank you very much for coming. I believe in you. Let's do this
I
again.
believe in
Bye
you.
bye.
I believe.